Good morning, my friends. I am going to show you some rosettes that I'm sending out. I am involved in a monthly exchange, and for the month of August, it is rosettes. And so I made this set of winter, spring, summer, and fall. And here is, I'm going to show you them without being in their package. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Made these really cute little mums. Fluff that up just a little bit. Made those mums. Sunflowers. Of course, the winter one is silver, red, and white snowflakes. And then spring, this is coral with this beautiful butterfly that I've given the glitter body center, and I've used copper flaking on the edge of the wings. Now, I used a die for the sunflower, so that was pretty simple to do. I made 2 of the sunflowers, that way I could rotate and fluff them up, set of leaves, and then I just put the same paper that I used for the rosettes. I layered that on top of several pieces of cardstock after I punched it out with my little circle punch, and layered that on top of a brown circle punch for that. And then for the winter ones, I used a silver, shiny silver, pearlized, and used some of the ribbon from Christmas last year, and put some snowflakes and some gems on there, and I did use a little bit of Nouveau drops in between those red gems. And then on spring, I'm going to just share with you a little bit on how I packaged them up. I did cut out the winter, spring, summer, and fall on my Cricut. Don't get a glare on there too bad. Layered those up. And then the bag toppers, I used an edge punch, layered that on top of some black cardstock, and used some Nouveau drops across the top of those just to give them a little bit more continuity between what's on the rosettes and the packaging. And then on the front of this one, I added another rosette onto a tag, and this has a sticky behind it that is a removable, so that can be taken off and reused. And then these two will be connected together with that same reusable, repositionable glue dots, so that when they get this package, they can tear these apart and not damage the bag topper. I put the opening at the bottom so they can open this and slide the package out and reuse the bag topper. So everything can be reusable. I wanted to share a couple things with you. Showed you the die cut for the sunflower. Here is the die I used for the butterfly. And then on the inside of that plastic pouch there, for the mum, I used this little die and cut it out multiple times. And once I cut it out multiple times, I went ahead and did some trimming down and put it together. I'm gonna go ahead and do a video on how I did that. So keep your eyes open for that, and I'll show you how to make that beautiful mum. I really was happy with the way it turned out. Now, when you're doing rosettes, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can have a die. This is by Tim Holtz Alterations Paper Rosette, and it has all the little lines in there and even the circle to hold it together. And that actually made this size here for the fall. Now all the others, I went ahead and did a little different. I'm going to show you how I did those. Now here's the one from the Tim Holtz, and it really does a great job. This is the back of it, the front of it, and it's so super easy to fold. You see how how quickly I'm just going through that. Those dies are absolutely wonderful. But I haven't always had a die for these. Now on a normal A2 piece of card paper, I was able to actually get 5 out. Now I didn't place this one quite as neatly, but on the other ones I was able to get 5 of those dies out of one 8.5 by 11 sheet. But I want to show you, if you don't have a die for a rosette, let me share with you what you can do. Now, I usually do a 12 by 12, but here's a beautiful shimmery pearl textured card. Try to get that light to shimmer on it too bad. I'm going to put it in. Get these out of the way here. Should have put those away. Put these in my scoreboard. Coffee out of the way here. Now once in your scoreboard, I like to score at every 1/4 of an inch. Now sometimes that's a little tedious for some people, so you can do it at every 1/2 inch, whatever is more comfortable for you. So I'm going to go ahead and score, because this is at 11 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and score every 1/4 inch. I'm going to go ahead and speed. Be careful, it'll slide right on off. I'm going to go ahead and speed up through this so you don't have to watch me score on down. Okay, so here I have all my score marks at a 1/4 inch. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them down to the width that I want my rosette to be. So let's go ahead and move this out of the way. Get your trimmer. And I'm going to go ahead and do this at 1.5 inches, because if you think about it, it's going to actually double that once you do the rosette all the way around. So if I do it at 1.5 inches, that should give me about a 3-inch rosette. Making sure everything is lined up along my line here. Bring it on up. Let's see what we have left. So let's go ahead and do one more. Now, just like with the one that we used the dye on, you are going to take it and you are going to fold on those score lines. And I find it's easy to just go ahead and just fold on all of them to get that paper or cardstock going, breaking down those fibers. And I'm just rolling it on down between my forefinger and my thumb and just pushing on that score line. And that gives me enough of a breakdown that I can actually start doing an accordion fold, or what they call also a mountain and a valley fold, to do this rosette. So that's what I'm doing here. The difference with having the dye is it actually, when it scores it for you, it puts little holes through there, so it breaks down and gives the cardstock a little bit more movement, so it's a lot easier for you to go ahead and fold on those score marks. Okay, so there we have the one that we actually scored in our scoreboard. And then here is the one that was actually done with a die. Look how much simpler that is. Just folding right on there. Right on along. And then that just comes on down, and you have this nice tight little cube, little square rectangle, all folded together. And then that opens right on up. And then you're going to bring it around and you're going to actually glue your pieces together. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, since the one that we've scored on our scoreboard actually takes just a little bit longer, we'll go ahead and fast forward through this as we get the mountains and the valleys folded. And all I'm doing is, where I folded the one way, I'm just using my thumb, pushing in and folding up, creating that mountain and valley, or that accordion fold on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this closer together. You want to use really good cardstock because of the folds that you're putting on here are pretty drastic for these paper fibers. And so you want to use a good cardstock so it won't crack on you. If you have a cardstock that is not quite as good, the quality, you can spritz it with a little bit of water, and that will actually help with the movement. Now don't saturate it, just spritz it with just a little bit of water, and that will give you a little bit more movement that you can do. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these, I'm going to connect them, and I want to make sure that I can see the pattern of my paper. So I'm going to bring this around, and I'm going to attach those two together right there. Just using my art glitter glue because it dries very quickly, very quick. I'm going to put that right on there, make sure everything is lined up. I'm going to fold it together and just give it some pressure, and that will dry very quick. And now I have the big one that I actually used my scoreboard for, and I'm going to do the same thing. I have my pattern on the outside, and I'm going to bring it on over, and I'm going to attach. I'm going to glue on one side, doesn't take much with your art glitter glue. Put my pin back in there so it doesn't dry up, and then I'm going to line those up, fold it on over. A few of those accordion folds up. Nice pressure there. Let that sit just a moment to dry. Now we need something to actually put our rosettes on. So I have some cardstock, and I have a small punch. So here is a 1-inch punch, and then I have some cardstock. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to use the brown for the yellow toned one, and we're going to use this silver gray for the gray toned one. And we're just going to punch out a circle for the bottom. And the bottom I like to have a little bit bigger than the one I'm putting on top. There's our bottom pieces. Now for the top pieces, I try to use a coordinating paper, so one that actually matches what we've made the rosette out of. So I'm going to take the leftover of what we had for the one that we actually scored ourselves, and this is I believe a 1/2-inch circle. And I'm going to go ahead and just prime these by just folding them in on the accordion. Now this one has a decorative outside rim, and so I want to make sure that when I'm putting this together that is going to be on the outside. So once again, prime your folds. And then I want to go ahead and prep it and push it on down. Very simple. The brown, here's the silver. Now I'm going to use some hot glue on that 1-inch circle. And I'm going to set this over the top of it, hopefully without getting glue everywhere. Try this again. I'm just going to push that down into that hot glue. Hold it just a moment for that glue to set. Take another little bit, fill that center. Take that little 1/2-inch circle that I've popped out of the same card and move right on top. Let's do that again. Holding nice and firm. This is the one that we actually cut out we scored and cut out ourselves. Now you can use decorative scissors. I've done that in the past. I've done punches along the edges in the past. So you can do anything like that. Since this one doesn't have the cut lines in it like the one that we actually use the die for, it is really important that you do prep the folds on this and that you use a good card, because it doesn't have cuts, it just has the score mark for us. And so we're going to hold it up and we're going to push it together and pop it on down. Now here is our bottom piece. We want to try to get that all together, push that as well together in the center. So some hot glue. I'm going to set this over the top. I'm going to push it all down. I'm going to push that into the center. Now I can see the hot glue coming up, which is perfect. Let that set just a minute because I need to add another hot glue piece. Now, when I add another hot glue stick, I usually just melt a little bit on the end of that, stick it on through, and it grabs that other glue stick real well. Okay, so now I'm going to take my hot glue and I'm going to fill that center up, and it's going to bring out just enough glue to the outside where that little 1/2-inch circle that I cut out of the same paper is going to sit right on top of there. And it grabs so quick. And there's your rosettes. And now you can just decorate them. Isn't that pretty easy? Not too shabby. I have some really cute cream of flowers here that might work very well. Let's see. This is a cloth one that is absolutely beautiful. I believe I got these. May have been in a Peachy Cheap. Sometimes you can get some really cute deals. Oh, that looks good. So I'm just going to use some of my glue. Pop it on the bottom there. Put that right over that other side. That glue dry a bit. And there you have it. Butterfly, just half of it underneath that flower. Probably wouldn't have been my first choice, but there we have it. Pretty simple to do. And we also have this one. When you look at the paper itself, it is kind of a tannish beige. So, kind of hold it up. Oh, this one would be it. This one would be really pretty. I'm going to go ahead and pop this one on with some hot glue. I'm going to fluff up that flower. there you have it. 2 beautiful, unique rosettes. So, my friends, thank you for joining me today and seeing my rosettes that I put together. I would love it if you enjoyed this video to go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you'd like to see more, hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to know when I'm uploading new videos, hit that notification bell. I would love it for you to join my crafty family here on YouTube. You can also find me on Pinterest and Facebook, all under the Southern Shell. I would love it if you came on over to Instagram and just followed me there. It's just a wonderful, fun, crafty adventure, and I'd love to see everything that you guys create as well, so don't forget to tag me in it. Have a wonderful day. God bless. Be safe out there, and bye for now.